Hey guys, welcome to Geek Legion of Doom. I'm Vanessa Mayhem, and today I'm doing a film called Bat Outta Hell. Okay, so this one was really weird. It's super low budget, loads of CGI, all that kind of stuff, but I actually really enjoyed this one. I got a good kick out of it. I'm not sure if it was intended to be a comedy horror, but I'm pretty sure that the scenes that were in it that were funny were intended to be funny, so fingers crossed for that. Yeah, so we follow four friends. We have Jack, Randy, Chris and Bianca, and they're all kind of like in the outback. They're in Australia, they're surfer freaks, you know, and they get a call one day because they make their videos and things like that. They get a call from basically like a Russian benefactor called Boris, who's like, hey, you know, do you want to make some money? You need to go out into this specific location and film some stuff for us and we'll give you a shit ton of cash. Not knowing that the Russian benefactor, I say Russian, I don't actually know if he was Russian, he actually has an agenda. He's looking for this, I want to say urban legend, but it's kind of like a mythological bat creature that is like 4 foot tall and looks like a human, this kind of stuff, you know. So they basically are the bait, and they go out there and they encounter this thing, and it's fun horror times. Now, like I said, the opening of this was fantastic. The green screen work in this was hilarious. It was so funny. But then we got into the film, and as they kind of make their way out, just everything starts going wrong. You know, they've all kind of got their own agenda, and the film is not so much about the bat attacks or anything like that. It's more about the dialogue between them and the relationships between them and all the shit going wrong and how they're handling it within each other because they just want to make some money. But yeah, they get out there and end up in the middle of nowhere, and they meet a guy called Simpson, who is your typical kind of, I'm shit scary, I'm an older dude and I'm in the middle of nowhere and I'm scary and, you know, you don't want to be left out alone here with me, that kind of guy. But he's actually kind of cool. He then kind of lets them stay for the night because obviously they are literally stranded. But as the night progresses, some pretty freaky and horrifying stuff happens. We do get to see the creature, the bat creature, and then they run away from Simpson at some point, who obviously we'll see later on in the film, and they really strand themselves, like literally in the middle of nowhere in this tiny church, and that's where the rest of the film takes place, is in this very small church, and they are basically just fending off attacks from this, I can't remember what they called it in the film, it was like something like a cryptoid bat or something like that, but literally, I'm not even kidding you, this film goes on for an hour and a half, perfect timing. At literally the hour mark, we got our history lesson. There's always a point in a film, especially if they're trying to make it out to be mythological or some legendary thing, they give you a history lesson on what the hell you're up against, and that is the moment we get that. So from that point onwards, they use a lot more action sequences with the bats in, and it's just really scary, and it's bloody, and it's pretty cool because the bats kind of MO is to rip people's faces off, and I was like, fuck, that is so awesome. But yeah, I really didn't have many gripes with this film. I did have one proper gripe, and it had nothing to do with effects and all that. I know it's low budget. It was actually the choice of the female character, I guess the casting choice. Now, I don't know if some of this film was dubbed. It did look like it was being dubbed at points, but it just seems like her entire dialogue throughout the whole film is dubbed. She's pretty monotone as well. Like, she has some emotional scenes, like some serious emotional scenes, and it was just really flat. It was just really odd. I was like, wow, it's an odd choice. Like, they couldn't have found someone to do it a little bit better. So she kind of ruined it a little bit for me. But apart from that, I enjoyed this. I got a kick out of the CGI, especially on the bats. The night vision, it was awesome. Because when you're looking at it through the bat's perspective, it's like a night vision thing. And that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. It actually made it kind of scary when it was almost like Predator. I quite enjoyed that bit. That was good whenever that happened. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I did write a couple of notes down just in case I was anything serious that I need to remember. And there's nothing. I've pretty much said it all. I will say this, it does have a pretty good soundtrack as well. And the one thing that shocked me was the ending. The ending was strange. Not in a bad way. It was strange because it was almost like when they end a TV show, like a series finale. It was left completely open. It was almost like, hey, you know, we're not going to resolve anything because we're going to have a sequel. But it wasn't even really set up. It was literally like the ending to a TV finale. And I was like, wow, I really kind of hope they do a sequel now because that's not fair. I've just gone through all that. No, you can't leave it like that. So yeah, let's just hope that they round that up at some point. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. Bat Out of Hell, I suggest everyone give it a watch and see what you think of it. You might think it sucks, you might love it, but yeah, I enjoyed it. If I was going to give this movie a rating, it would definitely be a solid 7. Actually, I'm going to change my mind and say a solid 8, because I had such little things that were bothering me with this film for once, and I did really enjoy it, and it was only like a slight acting problem and a slight CGI problem. So yeah, I would definitely advise everyone to give this a watch at least once. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.